Hey, what's up, guys? So let's talk about 2019 because it's upon us. There's only a couple months left out of this year, and what did you accomplish this year? There are a couple things that I've been doing lately that have really been helping me to change my paradigm. No matter how hard you work, no matter what you actually, the work you put in, what you do, if your mind doesn't change about where you are currently, then your life won't change. And that's just what it is. Essentially, you're going to be the creator, your reality. And with that being said, what it really is your mind has to change. You have to actually see yourself in the position that you want to be in. Since you are the creator of your reality, essentially you're going to want to get into a space that you are actively creating. You're going to want to actively take part in visualizing what your life would be like and what that vibration feels like. You know how say you fall in love with someone, or say you have some really fucking good sex. All right. Since most people, if you haven't had good sex in your lifetime yet, you are missing the fuck out. And you should really just, kiss a few frogs, so to speak. So essentially what it is that you might be just laying in bed one day and listening to a song or something, and that you'll get a flashback, right? And you'll remember what that feels like, what that passion feels like, how the dude was stroking you, or what position your body was in, or the way y'all kissed, or whatever it is. You'll remember that in detail. So essentially you are reliving that reality and that experience. And just by having that, you might notice that day you get a few hit-ups in your DMs. And you're like, what the fuck? You're like, I didn't even do anything. But you did do something. You actively participated in a vibration. And that vibration can actively change your reality. And that's what people are not understanding. So what you were doing was you went to a different level, a different plane, to your higher self. You created a feeling in that, or a vibration in that reality. And then what you did is you pulled down from that reality, or from a higher dimension, to create a situation or an experience in real time. And I know that for some people this is a hard concept to understand, but stick with me because it all makes sense essentially. All right, so basically in 2019, that's what we're talking about. In 2019, you're gonna want to, before the end of the year, maybe around now, come up with 3 to 4 different scenarios that you want to see truly, or change that you want to see truly happen in your life. If you can't conceive of what that change is going to be like, then why are you don't complain about it no more. Everybody wants to spend time complaining about this and complaining about that and talking shit about this person and talking shit about that person, but nobody wants to take responsibility for their own life. And that is where you have a flaw. Whatever, but everybody starts from somewhere. So how could I believe that someone else could do it, but that I can't do it? When I have the same ability, when I have the same skill, when I have the same opportunities as everybody else out here, especially on the internet. The internet is so open. You have so many opportunities. That's what I'm saying. But David, before you practice every day, you need to know what the fuck you're doing. A lot of people will go out here and say they want to do this and they want to do that, but they don't have a defined plan. And that, my friends, is where you're fucking up. It don't mean that you're always going to stick to the plan, but it means that you know where you're going or what direction you want to go in that particular area of your life. The main thing is, as much as these people be talking about spirituality, as much as people will get into the occult, as much as people will be esoteric, as much as people will be like, I'm God, I'm beautiful, I'm this, I'm that, motherfuckers really ain't out here doing shit. People are talking all this shit to bolster their ego and their confidence, but then they still want to get money. So they're like, oh, money doesn't matter. Oh, I don't care about these things or whatever. But at the end of the day, you still want to make money. You still want to make sure that your family is taken care of. You still want to make sure that, you know, you could do certain things. And I'm the type of person where I'm cool with taking a hit as long as I know that I have a plan. So I can go with less for an extended period of time because I have a plan. That dead-end job is exactly what it is. It's dead end. You know why they call a dead-end job dead end? Because it kills your soul. That shit is always going to be there, and it's always going to be ready to kill you. So if you want to die this year, by all means, go ahead and die. Do your thing. But I'm telling you, I'm trying to live. And nothing is going to change if you don't change your mind about who you are. You really have to get to a space where you change your mind about who you are. Let me give you guys a bunch of waves here on what up, everybody. And it really comes to a space that you have to change your mind about who you are. Now, it's a process, because yesterday I did an exercise where you sort of control your breath and you kind of go into a meditation, but you don't go too deep. It's basically a visualization exercise. And where you find the resistance is every time you find resistance and every time you find your ego hiding, you have an opportunity to grow. And don't you forget that. Every time somebody tells you some shit and the shit is true and you get mad or whatever, sit back and ask yourself why you even got mad. Because if the shit wasn't true, then you wouldn't get mad. Then you wouldn't even care. You'd be like, if somebody, literally, I'll tell you something that happened to me yesterday. I was arguing with my little brother, whatever. He was mad about some dumb shit. So he's like, oh, well, what'd he say to me? He called me a bitch. And I was like, yeah, I am a bitch. So what? I said, I'm a grown-ass woman. Is that shit supposed to fucking hurt my feelings? So then he goes, well, you suck dick. I said, I sure do every weekend, and I choke on that motherfucker too. And like, so then he went to, so it was a progression. So he went to, oh, well, you're a whore. And I'm like, is that shit supposed to hurt my feelings? Like, for real though. So, okay, I am a whore. So what? What now? What are you going to say? You know what I'm saying? If what somebody is telling you is true, then you're going to get mad. You know what I mean? And when you know that you're not really about that life, and you're faking it too much because you're not even trying. Faking it till you make it means that you're still actually doing some steps towards your goal. You know what I mean? That's faking it till you make it. Y'all motherfuckers out, or not, maybe not y'all, but there's a lot of motherfuckers out here that are doing fake it, and ain't making it nowhere. So you have to be mindful of that as well, because this is a two-step process. Now, when you're doing the visualization exercise, you really want to get into a space, even if it's like 10 minutes. Take like 5-10 minutes a day to do this, and maybe do 5 minutes 3 times a day. I think everybody has 5 minutes that they can spare to improve their life. If you don't have 5 minutes you can spare to improve your life, then you really got to make some fucking choices out here. Anyway, so what you do is you sit there and you kind of close your eyes, and what I do is I usually do it as a first person. So yeah, so you take time you lay back and you really just see yourself. Or if sometimes it's really hard to see yourself through like as you're going through the motions of your everyday life. So imagine that this life that you want to create is literally just part of your everyday life. Like if you want to manifest a new house, right? Start with something that's tangible. Start with something, or you can even start with something that's intangible. You can say, shit, I want a mansion with 10 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms. Like, go, fuck it. If you're gonna fail motherfucking big. But you have to imagine these things being a part of your daily life. So how a lot of people will go around the world and they'll covet and they'll want a nice house and they'll want a nice car, or if they see a Lamborghini driving, they're all, oh shit, that's da 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 da. And they're like, you can't have that kind of energy. You really can't have that kind of energy. You have to be like, you gotta act like this shit is just regular for you. Honestly. So that's really gonna get you in the mind state that you wanna be in. Yeah, exactly. It is magic, not for nothing. What we're talking about here is alchemy. This is the real shit. So essentially what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna go into a space where you're whatever you want, whatever you desire. Yo, you want bitches? Imagine you got 5, 6 of them. Imagine what it is to deal with the feminine energy. Imagine what a fucking headache it is to be having 5 chicks. You want a better job or an actual career instead of a job, something where you could grow. Imagine that. I said I am a writer. I don't want to do nothing else. What do y'all think I do? I am a writer. Do I make a ton of money doing that shit? With the job I have now? No, I don't. I don't make a ton of money. But the opportunity and the growth that is available there and the comfort of being able to work from my own home is something that money can't buy for me. So what you do is you take steps. You have to really imagine yourself in the position that you want to be in. And just remember and just make sure that whatever you're imagining is authentic for you. Because if it's not authentic, if it's not coming from the inside, there's no fucking way you're going to manifest it on the outside. Because it's not you. And if you do manage to manifest it by sheer will and force, you won't feel fulfilled. So the main thing when you're doing these steps and you're doing your visualization and you're imagining what it is to have these things, right? You imagine all right, let's go through the steps. Step number 1 is create clearly defined, not really goals, create a clearly defined lifestyle that you want, right? So step number 1 would be clearly define what type of lifestyle that you want to have. Whether it be in the area of health, whether it be in the area of if you want to get in shape, you want to be an IG baddie, you want to be an influencer, whatever it is, whatever, as far as how you're making your money, as far as the network, as far as relationships, like whatever's most important to you. I would start with just like 3 to 4 things so you don't get too confused, right? So that's the first step, is to create clearly defined lifestyle choices. I feel like that's better than goals, because this is going to be more all-encompassing and holistic than just creating goals. Everybody says hashtag goals. Hashtag goals. That's all you see anywhere. But these motherfuckers are not. The goals are not singular. Just like how when you work out, you can't just do fucking spot reduction. You got to work with the whole body holistically. That's the same shit when you're creating the lifestyle that you want. You need to really come to a space where you're like, yo, I'm creating a lifestyle. I'm creating something that's all encompassing. That's going to produce real change. Okay? So the next thing is, so that's step number 1. Step number 1, create clearly defined lifestyle choices. Step number 2 is going to get into the visualization aspect. And when you start to do your visualization, only take 5 minutes. You're gonna feel resistance at first, because when I did it, I felt resistance. And it was really difficult for me at first to take the time to understand what I was feeling, because I am shifting my vibration. I am shifting my reality. You know what I mean? And whatever's happening up here in the mind first, or in your higher self, in the higher dimensions of reality, it comes down and solidifies in this reality. So when you're going into your mind, you're going to another reality. You're going to a higher reality, and you're experiencing what it would be like in this reality to live life a particular way. But so that higher reality, where you're in a certain vibration, is getting the message, and it's starting to shift. So it really is kind of painful at first, and you may notice some shit might get fucked up in your life at first. So that's going to be the first thing. The second thing is really to take 5 minutes. Start with that. And if you can't envision yourself, like from a first person standpoint, like how when you look around your room, I have a butterfly painting over there. I see my elephant painting. Like, I vision myself like that, like from my perspective. But if that's really hard for you, you can vision yourself as like a fly on the wall almost, or like as someone watching this thing happen, so that you can get a feel for it before you actually jump into it. So that's that's going to be the what is that? The third thing that you're going to do. And then the next thing that you're going to do is you're really going to want to, oh no, that was second. The third thing that you're going to want to do is action. Be active. Be active. Everything. Listen, guys, this is a holistic approach. This shit ain't the fucking secret, because the secret only told you one thing. It didn't tell you the whole story. This is a holistic approach. And I'm doing this with you, okay? Because I'm trying this myself, because I'm really curious as to how it's going to work. So don't feel like you're alone, because you're not. Like, I'm doing it too. Because it came to me the other day that, oh wow, this actually makes a lot of fucking sense. I should try it. So let me know what your results are. Let's chop it up. Let's share information, you know? Let's grow together. Nobody is in this shit alone. Believe me. And let's fucking just do it. Let's kill 2019. Let's stop being complainers for the next year. Let's stop being complainers. Let's actually take some time to grow. Let's take some time to create a better reality. Let's take some time to be our best selves. You know what I mean? So action is the last thing that you got to do. That's step 3. Sorry, my laptop's moving a lot. I got this little table on my bed, and this shit is just moving a lot. I guess because I'm all moving around today with my hands and all that. So yeah, you're really gonna want to going forward, get to a space where you're taking tangible steps. Now, there's a reason for this. Psychologically, if you're not taking tangible steps, then you don't believe yourself. The first liar anybody ever comes into contact with is themselves. Because when you say you're going to do something and you don't do it, you create a mentality inside of yourself where you don't believe yourself anymore. And then you take on this mentality of, I'm a liar. I'm not to be trusted. I don't follow through with this. So you have to create a culture of even changing those kinds of thoughts and things like that. You have to start to be honest with yourself, create tangible goals that are in alignment with what you're doing. Or goals. Create a tangible action plan. Boom, that's perfect. Create a tangible action plan. Think of, for everything that you want to change, think of 3 to 4 small steps, because small steps is where it's at. Nothing happens overnight. Start with your small steps, and then you can create confidence, so that then you can go into the bigger steps and do bigger things. But you gotta really trust yourself first. Why do you think all these people have trust issues in their relationships? Because they didn't trust themselves. What do I mean by they didn't trust themselves? They believed that they didn't trust that they could choose a good partner that could be faithful to them, and therefore they didn't. How the fuck do chicks that are so-called hoes out here, or so-called ran through, and I don't really fuck with that terminology, but motherfuckers will think that a woman like that would never get a man. Meanwhile, she be having the finest motherfucking man. They got the most motherfucking money that hold her ass the fuck down. And he be a real motherfucker too. Why is that a thing? That's a thing because that woman didn't devalue herself. She still believed that she was valuable and she was worth it and that she would find someone like that. She trusted herself. So people could talk as much shit as they want, but that woman who everybody want to talk about, she actually had a healthier evaluation of herself. She had healthier self-love and self-respect than a lot of you motherfuckers running around this bitch. Alright, doing this thing. Anyway, let me stop rambling like I'm doing now. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for being here. I think that this video is going to be really effective for a lot of you. So skip over the parts where I'm rambling and ranting and shit and get the really good information, okay? I love you guys. I love my lovers. And let's fucking kill 2019. You know what I'm saying?